Now, sticking with results in the banking sector at the full-year mark, African Bank's credit impairment charge fell by 20%. The lender also expanded its customer base by 36% during the period, but net profit is virtually unchanged at 523 million as the group continues to work on diversifying its revenue streams. A company CEO Kennedy Bungane joins me with a greater perspective on the performance. Thank you so much for your time, Kennedy. Now, first talk to me about the growth stage you're in terms of your Accelerate 25 strategy, and if you've seen that putting you in a much more elevated position amid the tough operating environment.
Thank you for having me and for that intro as well. You are absolutely spot on. These results show that we're making good progress in our Accelerate 25 strategy, which has always been about how we grow and diversify from our strong micro-lending personal capability into being a fully fledged retail and business bank. In the year that has been tough trading conditions for households, we've actually not grown in personal loans, but have grown in card, grown in secured lending, grown in our business and commercial lending, grown in transactional services, demonstrating that there's a new resilience in the business. We have scale in the new capabilities we've brought to ensure that this bank can support its customers and continue to grow even when you are not at a time of lending personal loans. So we're delighted that this evidences why it was important to embark on this journey after all.
You know, I do note the shift that you've made in terms of widening your net for secured lending and softening your supply for unsecured lending. Is that just a defense mechanism for the high interest rate environment, or is that a structural shift that you have decided to make that, you know, will be more permanent?
Is both.
Okay.
So we started out with this view that we had been a micro-lender on unsecured lending, and whilst that has served us well and does serve purpose for our customers, it couldn't be the only thing we do. Okay. We've brought in more solutions, more services for customers at a consumer level, and it's evidenced by the performance that we've got here. Our customers appreciate that, and that is why we've moved from just over 1.1 million customers in 2021 to now 5.4 million customers who appreciate that we've got more to offer than just loans, and they're picking it up and giving us business. That said, though, that's the path of making sure that this bank is sustainable, is less risky, and is scalable and offers more to customers. That said, the situation that we've just been through in this country over the last 2 years of high in food inflation, fuel inflation, would have made it irresponsible for us to keep extending personal loans when it is difficult for people to service them. And so we found other ways of serving our customers beyond just personal loans. You see, that's exactly the old adage, isn't it? That a man that's only got a hammer only sees nails, and having more ammunition has enabled us to serve our customers through the various cycles of economic health. And we're delighted that as interest rate cycles start easing both globally and domestically, we can now open the tap a bit more from a credit extension and fight with all of our diversified solutions and services for customers and businesses out there.
Okay, because I was going to ask if maybe you don't intend of opening the taps a little bit more, but it's quite encouraging that you are also looking into that. I mean, just in this current, interest rate cutting cycle as well, do you expect to see significant shifts between your interest income and your non-interest income?
Well, the big story of these results has been the 14% increase in non-interest revenue, 14% increase in insurance revenue at a time when our non-interest, or rather our net interest income fell by 10%, and still we're able to grow. So, it just shows you that diversification and growth is working for us. With interest rates coming down, we're going to be switching on a little bit more credit extension for both households, individuals, and businesses. And so our NII should come back and also help lift our revenue lines and for a better performance that we hope for in FY25. That's what we are about as a bank for the people, by the people, to support our customers, our communities, our entrepreneurs through every business cycles, and knowing that time for just being sunshine bankers is no more. We've got to walk the highs and the lows and be there as a trusted financial services partner. That's what the acquisitions we've made, the capabilities we've brought in enable us to do now.
Well, actually, talking about that, you talk about growth and the acquisitions that you've made. There's been a lot of activity in your business and a commercial division. The full integration of Grindrod Bank happened in this financial year, but also there were acquisitions of SASFin assets that you also made, one reflected in this reporting period, one not. What tone of momentum does that set for the business?
The tone for the business is actually quite positive. We shouldn't forget that only in 2022 we acquired Ubank and used that to strengthen and reinforce our personal banking franchise. Similarly, what we're doing here isn't just being Pac-Man, buying all the other banks. It's actually being intentional in how we bring in capabilities that enhance our offering to entrepreneurs, to SMEs, and to that middle of the pyramid corporate customers. In Grindrod Bank, we got capabilities with respect to commercial property, to a lot that is the rails for us to support businesses. The SASFin businesses that we've brought in give us capabilities in capital equipment financing, asset-backed financing, installment sales, really enabling us to be that go-to fully fledged commercial financier and backer for customers. We are on a lookout for more of such capabilities as the opportunity avails themselves. Because the idea here is that African Bank was founded back in the day to be the bank that obsesses about backing entrepreneurs and enterprises. We need products, we need capability, we need systems to do that, and the path we've been onto has reinforced that that's the right direction of travel, and customers have returned the favor, such as evidenced by these numbers we're reporting today.
All right. Well, we are looking forward as to what's to come in terms of that growth runway there. Thank you so much for your time and for your insights, Kennedy. That was African Bank CEO Kennedy Bungane.